welcome to You're Wrong About Musicals. I'm Esme.
And I'm Nell.
Today we are going to be doing Olivier Award reactions. I'll give our thoughts, give our feelings. Do I have anything I want to say right off the bat? I was right. I hate to say it, but I was kind of right for a lot of it. I feel like we were pretty on the money this year.
Yeah. I think, doubt came in for a little bit. Haha.
Good pun there now.
Thank you. About what might be winning.
Yeah.
But in the end, we were right to make our bets because it was never going to happen.
Well, I'll talk about it when I was watching the ceremony, but it was just the fact I think I texted you about it. You could just hear how much people were losing their minds
Yeah,
over Benjamin Button.
It's the kind of thing of last year. I think
last year
I was still holding out hope in the nicest way possible. I was still holding out hope that Operation Mincemeat wasn't going to win.
I knew it was winning.
In my head, I was like, well, the appears are just because 50 influencers have bought tickets and are sat at the back of the balcony cheering. But obviously it's going to sound loud. Benjamin Button, I was like, fuck, every single person in the Royal Albert Hall loves Benjamin Button.
I mean, we'll talk about Benjamin Button's performance because I'm intrigued to see what you think of it because it was your first exposure to it.
Yeah, it was.
But first we have some news. We have a very short list of news. Not much been happening. I feel
like the Oliviers were kind of the big thing.
The Oliviers took over the news, and also things are about to go crazy.
Yeah.
Because we are Tony
season.
Tony nominations are in a month. So this week, I think 5 Broadway shows are opening. John Proctor's opening, Boop is opening, Smash is opening, so much.
Yeah, it's gonna be, unfortunately for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to get very stressed all of the time. I already kind of am. Me and Esme just talked for 2 hours about how stressed I am. And then on top of that, I've got to cover Tony news.
I'll cover Tony news. I'll stay chronically online. You can be one with nature. Anywho, should we get into it?
Yes.
First off, this just broke and it is not 100% confirmed, but I've been hearing rumors about this for a while. And the Broadway Journal, who are normally right about this kind of thing, had an article saying that Aaron's and Flaherty's best musical. I will say it's the best musical Aaron's and Flaherty have ever written. Fight me. I don't feel like that's controversial to say. But their masterpiece, Ragtime, which is a musical I love very dearly. Recently, I thought about it and I cried. I just thought about Ragtime.
And that might not be entirely Ragtime's fault, but...
And then I started crying. But I often I cannot listen to Wheels of Your Dream or that section of music. I'm tearing up right now thinking about it.
We gotta move on.
Without crying. It's just so beautiful. I am tearing up. So let's just say I need to be in New York where the ragtime's happening, There was a music of something beginning, the people call it ragtime, I'm there. Especially if that cast transfers. Oh yeah, there's a rumor it's the city centre version. Especially if Casey Levy's there.
Oh my god.
Casey Levy is already Mother to me. It's the fact that she is playing Mother.
Not even in the online sense of Mother.
No.
Just that's Esme's mum.
Yeah, that's... I've seen Casey Levy perform 4 times. It's actually kind of crazy.
That woman raised Esme.
Oh yes. Anyway, moving on. Clueless extends.
Yippee!
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of side-eyeing Clueless with the earlier than I expected closure of Mean Girls. I was like, how long is Clueless gonna last then in this kind of market? But Clueless is at a smaller theatre.
Yeah.
A significantly smaller theatre.
I also think Clueless, I don't know if this is gonna come out right. So... Clueless is less going for it. Because the Dove Cameron off-Broadway Clueless?
Yeah, that shit never went to Broadway.
Yeah. It was kind of flippy.
Yes. Yes.
Whereas I feel like Mean Girls had this kind of thing of the Broadway Mean Girls.
I mean, I don't want to talk too much about Mean Girls right now for reasons that
Hmm.
will be discussed later. Um, but Mean Girls, I think, might have oversaturated the market a bit.
Yeah. And so I think like people are going into Clueless with, again, in the nicest way possible,
No,
very low
if
expectations.
I end up in Clueless, I will literally just be like, I'm here to have a laugh. One
Yeah.
laugh. And if it makes me do any more than that, then I will be going, this was a fun time.
I think it's not trying to be anything more than a fun musical, at least
No,
from my understanding.
no, from my understanding. I do like the way they did up the theatre, though.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. Um, this is just something I've seen online and want the people to know about. Real Women Have Curves. I kept forgetting that was coming to Broadway. And then I'd look at a list of like what was coming in because me and Nell would have chats like, is Tammy Faye going to get best lighting?
Tammy Faye is getting best lighting.
That'll be also your contribution next week, Tammy Faye best
Tammy
lighting.
Faye is getting best lighting.
And I see Real Women Have Curves, and I was like, oh, I know it's based on an America Ferrera movie, but I don't know too much about it. Guys, I saw a clip of them doing Make It Work. It has been stuck in my head all week.
It's gonna be fun.
I need it on
Banger.
a I need it on streaming. It's either like the two songs from this Broadway season I have stuck in my head are Make It Work, that one song from Boop, you know, the local legend not from here, that one.
Yeah.
And then I just randomly get a bit of maybe happy ending stuck in my head and want to start sobbing.
I need to listen to Maybe Happy Ending. I still haven't
Don't
listened to it.
don't do it while you're in a fragile mental state.
No. In May I'll listen to it.
That's a May job. Um Anyway, speaking of Boop, they're opening as of recording today. We'll see what the
Yeah.
reviews say. I think if I had to predict, because I'm in a prediction mood,
Mm.
divided on whether or not the story makes sense. However, Jasmine Amy Rogers is a star. I think that's what they're
Yeah.
gonna say.
Everything I've heard so far has been generally positive. I've
That,
heard a couple like raving reviews. I've had a couple that have been like, it's pretty good.
yeah, pretty good.
I haven't heard anything negative yet, but that might just be my circle.
But like, if anyone's saying, but the thing that's getting me is that if anyone's saying anything positive, they're like, Jasmine Amy Rogers is a fucking star.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say to her is, congratulations, Girly Pop, you've got yourself a Tony nomination. Like, do you know how impressive it is that she's been able to like have a performance of that's good in this crowded of a Best New Actress season, where everyone's like, there's three locks: Nicole, Audra, and Jasmine Amy Rogers. Anyway, Michael Harrison did an interview at the Oliviers last night. He won one. Congrats, mate. I'm quite fond of Michael Harrison. I've grown quite
Mm.
fond of him in the past year. You know, whenever he pops up, he's doing something I enjoy.
Yeah.
Like making Andrew Weber work with Bruno Major. We need to talk about that more.
That's fun.
Rachel Zegler Evita, Starlight Express, the Miss Saigon tour. My only qualm with the Miss Saigon tour is one, are you okay if we should be doing Miss Saigon in the year 2025? And two, if we are going to do Miss Saigon, can you guys please send it to a theatre near me so I can go? You know, call me a hypocrite all you want, I know. But I do need to go Miss Saigon to go see Miss Saigon if they are performing it. Sorry. Um, Michael Harrison said we saw her audition tape and she was sensational about Rachel Zegler in Evita, and let me just say, it's been keeping me going through some dark times, Rachel Zegler and Evita. Also, guys, the rumors for who's playing Che and who's playing Juan Perón, gagging me. I'm gagged. Dead. Catch me living at the Palladium. Also, Wicked Part 2 for good has started up promo. They were at CinemaCon, which I didn't realize was a big deal until everyone was tweeting about it, and I was like, oh, this is a big deal? Again, movies not my thing. Not my things. Not my thing. They are not my circus, not my monkeys. But unfortunately, the Wicked movie is my circus and my monkeys.
Big deal.
Especially since Dorothy seems like she's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, guys. If only my sister hadn't have torn up my Dorothy costume.
Mm.
I could have refashioned it and worn it to the cinema. I might buy some red shoes. Anyway. It is time for us to give our thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the Laurence Olivier Awards. Should we start with performances?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Because,
Sorry, hold on. Please stay on the bar.
right. So, what performed then?
I
First?
feel like I should also mention
Yes.
I missed most of the first act.
Nothing that we're gonna give like a hot take on happened in the first act.
Yeah, it was purely because I was at work.
As someone who was watching it, I felt like I was trying to keep your data on anything big happened, and it was actually just like they started late.
Yeah,
They made a tariff
not
joke.
really news. They always start late.
Oh, can I say? I'm gonna say this off the top. So many American versus British jokes.
Yeah, I saw a lot of those later on,
Yeah.
which is haha funny, but
It was haha
overdone.
funny the first time. Every time Billy Porter and Beverly Knight, who I thought did a good job they're two very charismatic people,
Yeah,
which is what half the battle of like hosting is.
yeah,
But the material of just like he's American, I'm British, every single time they were on stage was so annoying.
yeah. I think the only one that actually made me like giggle a little bit, and it wasn't even the joke, it was the reaction.
Yeah.
It was Corbin Blues.
Oh, his was so
When he was
good.
like, so are these like the British Tonys?
British Tonys?
And like you would think there might be some chuckles. The entire theatre just went, oh.
Ooh. Well, no, because here's the thing: if you're gonna do the British versus American thing, elevate the joke rather than just having them introduce Starlight Express and being like, "Well, you know, the subway," you know? Because like the Corbin Blue bit was fucking hilarious. Him being like, "I'm an idiot."
Yeah. But just like generally the theatre not laughing at all. Just going like, oh, okay.
And if that doesn't prove to you how serious like the UK theatre industry can be sometimes.
Yeah.
Like on one hand, we are more willing to embrace fully the absurd. But on the other hand, there's a part of the UK theatre industry that's like, no, we need to be deadly fucking serious all the fucking time. And any humour is not allowed. Okay, right. Oh, I have to talk about them. My favorite two presenters of the whole night.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. Nell literally texted me and was like, this is made for you.
This is a joke for you.
It's a joke for me. My icons, my legends, Jesse Tyler Ferguson and Jane Krakowski graced us with their presence on the stage. And like they were so everyone gets introduced because a lot of them are promoting something, obviously.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, you don't want to miss Sometimes Last Musical and the National. It's called Here We Are.
They don't even do that. They make a joke about it. They're like, you know, we're here to celebrate all of these like other shows. We would never use this time to
Never.
kind of promote the show we're about to go into.
But
But
here
I
we
mean,
are.
look at how great this is. Us on this stage presenting these awards. Here we are. Here we are.
Man, they crack me up so much.
It was just so stupid that I was like, fuck, it's hilarious.
I'm gonna lose my mind second row.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm genuinely gonna, and then we have to record our Hadestown re-up 2 days
Yep.
afterwards.
Yep.
Here we are.
Yeah, as I hate to tell you, but there's an ad at the top of your screen that I think you should click on.
Because I was looking at us getting £10 tickets for that. That's why it's
We
come
have
up.
to.
We have to. We can book them online now, so you don't have to go at 10 a.m. anymore.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's why we're getting that ad, by the way. They were so funny. Just what's left? What's there left for me to say about those two? I love them so much. I just want to dance the ballet. I went on a night out with
Not
me.
even either of them, by the way.
No, my friends thought
With a different person.
My friends, me and my friends went on a night out. We just the whole time we're going. I just want to dance the ballet. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm seeing Mitch from Modern Family in a musical. And my friends were like, I thought Cam was the musical theatre one. And I was like, no, in real life, girls.
In real life.
Guys, I hate to tell you about this acting. Um, Anything else on the presenters?
Jacqueline Wilson.
Ja Queen,
My
ledge.
queen. Love Jacqueline Wilson.
My icon, my ledge.
I was so happy when she came on stage.
I still need to know whether or not she's queened out Jane Krakowski.
I know.
Melding of the minds there. What could they come up with?
Who even knows?
I was thinking if any international people are watching, I'm watching like the theatre go crazy for Jacqueline Wilson. They're like, who is this woman?
Like Jacqueline Wilson, Elaine Page.
Elaine Page!
It was so ridiculous.
Well, no, because
great.
they showed a reaction shot of Toby Marlowe and Lucy Moss, like reacting to Jacqueline Wilson come out, and Lucy Moss was just sat there with like her hand over her heart, being like, oh.
It was great.
And that is the only way to react to Jacqueline Wilson coming on stage. I'm sorry. But yeah, back to the performances.
I missed the MJ one. I think that was the only one I missed.
Did you watch Why Am I Single?
No.
Okay.
MJ and Why Am I Single? I missed Why Am I So Single?
Okay, wow. I haven't
How was it? Uh-oh.
Not amazing. I wasn't wowed.
Okay.
So MJ, they did Beat It. I don't know if you heard, they did Beat It.
Fair enough.
And it was really underwhelming. Like the choreography is amazing because it's MJ. And they chose a part where he's doing the moonwalk. And all of the very like iconic stylized Michael Jackson moves, as Michael does. And I texted my friend who'd seen it and I was like, they're doing Beat It on the Olivier's and I'm really underwhelmed. And he was like, yeah, out of context, the show doesn't really work.
Mm.
And I was like, that's so weird because I thought an MJ performance would be amazing.
Yeah.
Also because like it was just Michael like in like an actual outfit. The rest of them were in rehearsal gear.
Mm.
And so it was just a weird vibe. Everyone's very talented and the choreography is very good, but I was just a bit like, I felt like we could have done more.
Yeah. My thought with MJ has always been, I think it would be a good time if I went to go see it.
I'm not spending it.
Yeah, nothing about it like jumps out at me.
If I got a free ticket, I would very happily go and probably be like, oh yeah, it's decent. I'm not spending money. Oh,
yeah.
I've now got an ad for the Great Gatsby.
Oh my God.
Saw a fuck ass ad today. I'm back in London. I saw a big ass ad today for the Great Gatsby. So hey guys, should go see that. Why Am I So Single? So should I tell you what I wanted them to do?
Yeah.
I wanted them to do Disco Ball.
We did discuss what we wanted them to do.
Yes.
Last week.
Yes. I wanted them to we wanted the song of Patti LuPone.
Yeah.
And then I sat and I thought about it and I was like, I kind of want to do Disco Ball because I listened to it for the first time. I was like, wait, this would be really good and it's actually a really interesting song. Should I tell you what they did? Which I was like, I feel like I've seen you guys perform this everywhere.
8 Dates.
8 Dates.
Which again, not a bad song, and it is kind of like the song of the show. It's the one that they have promoted everywhere.
Yeah.
My thought is, if the show has closed,
Mm-hmm.
why do you need to use your promotional song?
I had a thought of they the thing with like a Toby Marlowe and Lucy Moss is they can leverage a good award show performance into a further life for the show. That's basically what happened with Six, or how it
Yeah,
became such a phenomenon. So I expect, like, I wonder if my expectations were far too high if they're going to come out the gate swinging.
yeah. And I'm sure, I kind of get like 8 Dates is a pretty like hype song.
Mhm.
I get that 8 Dates is like a hype song, and I kind of understand why you would pick it for your like performance.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of the vibe with the Olivia performances. You're not gonna go up there and like do your like ballad.
I mean, unless you're a certain little show, which is the Diva and the Queen Bee.
Are you talking about Great Comet?
We're not talking about we have to save that for Great Comet time.
I just want to say though, they didn't because they opened with Balaga.
As they should.
They did a very hype number.
Yes.
My
Yes.
opinion is the reason they did Sonia Alone was because my Muma Memon was about to win.
Yeah. They probably knew it.
Like
Everyone was saying it.
she was the front runner to win anything for Great Comet.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense where they'd be like, here's why she's nominated, here's why she is going to win.
Also,
She's incredible.
Kind of, and then the issue of Comet is that it's very much like unless you have sat through the prologue and all of the setup, what they're saying is gibberish. Like even like
Yeah.
no one else would kind of be like, what is she on about? Why is she
Yeah.
going into a teddy bear?
Whereas Balaga, just a very fun song, kind of hype, funny.
Also, you do still get to show off Jamie Moscato.
Yeah,
Seeing him as Anatole again.
great. Anyways, yeah, I get why they went with 8 Dates. It's
yeah.
just kind of thing of I wish they'd done something new.
Yeah.
But you know, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. Now, Oliver.
I realized something the second they announced that he was going to do reviewing the situation.
Yep.
And I was like, ugh, why? I was like, oh, it's Oliver. It's all kids.
Yes.
They can't come out and do their numbers.
The second I was like, oh yeah, it probably really fucked with the child labor laws them having to do all these performances. Also, if Simon Lipkin is your only actor nominated,
Oh yeah.
then it makes sense to show him.
Yeah, it was like I think us saying they should do this very specific medley of Oliver songs. Still think they should have done it. I completely like the second Olivia started, I was like, they can't just get all those kids on the stage.
No, because I think I
There's
first
actually like no way for them to get the kids on the stage.
I first texted you and I was like, why are they doing reviewing the situation? And then like halfway through watching, I was like, oh yeah, child labor laws.
Child labor laws and such.
Yeah.
They kind of can't get anyone else. And again, it's the thing of like your only other adult songs are all really sad.
Like as long as he needs me.
Your adult songs is basically just Nancy's songs, and they're all devastating.
Nancy's basically like, I'm going to die at the hands of men.
I was like, I'm so sweet and kind, but they will kill me anyways.
But I'm gonna die instead.
Listen to me sing about that beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, Sinead Holmes is an amazing singer. I listen to her version as long as he needs me and goes, Jesus fucking Christ, this is so good. But I also really liked to see reviewing the situation because it's not a song I think about often. It's not a song I listen to often. And
I also think every single review I've seen of Oliver has been like, and this is a career-defining performance for Simon Lipkin.
Yes.
Like, this is the best thing he's ever done.
Yes.
And I was like, feels kind of hard to believe that the best thing you've ever done is Oliver. I was watching, I was like, fuck. He's really good.
I've got my friend Kit every so often is like, so we're seeing Oliver on this date, and I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
but
yeah. It was a very good performance.
very good performance. I really enjoyed his movements.
Oh yeah. His
Again,
like thing with the hand when he kept doing like
oh my God, it was technically so impressive,
yeah.
and it was one of those things where unless you sat down and thought about it, you were like, that's actually kind of crazy.
It was one of those things for his whole thing being his costume and then like a trunk as all of the set he had. I was like, I'm watching Oliver right now.
And it's
Like
him
that's
alone
Fagin.
on that massive Royal Albert Hall stage. That couldn't have been easy.
Yeah. He, you know, he didn't feel like he
Anyways,
really
I've been lip
he
kissing
did
all
very
of
well
that.
on that stage.
Yeah.
He was very much I really enjoyed watching him perform. And it has made me want to go see Oliver even more. So congrats.
Yes.
You did your job.
He did a great job of promoting the show, and that at the end of the day, that is kind of what it's for. No idea what Comet were doing; they were just there for the shits and gigs.
Yeah. Quite literally, they really were.
Um, everyone else was kind of like promoting the show, being like, "Hey guys, come see us."
That's the thing of like even for Why Am I So Single?
Yeah,
It was like, hey, we're probably gonna go on like a tour or something
because
soon.
Why Most Music always indicated that they are going to have a life after the West End.
Yeah. Like it felt like there was a reason they were doing it. Great comment, it was just like, do you remember how great we were a couple months ago? Don't you
Guys,
fucking miss us?
the
Anyways,
lager.
Balaga, Sonia alone. Anyways, we'll head off stage now.
Guys, we got the teddy bear out of store,
Do you remember the teddy bear?
and I was going,
Oh, great
yes.
times. Anyways, let's move on.
And then Fiddler.
Fiddler was good.
Oh my God, I was going yes.
Yes.
No idea what was happening, and then I went. I need to book a £20 ticket, cheap £20 ticket before they all go, don't I? Just don't know if I can be asked to trek to the Barbican. I'm gonna be so real. Oh, yeah, Barbican's kind of far. I don't know. I didn't actually. I'm not. I'm gonna be so real. Famously, whenever Fiddler on the Roof was played, every single Christmas at Uncle Mark, um, I would walk out of the room in protest because I thought it was long and boring. So I don't actually know what the story of Fiddler on the Roof is.
Me neither. I've just never been into it.
I knew it was about marriages.
Yeah. I know
So
Wedding Song where they dance with like the cups on their heads.
that was what they did, I think. I'm 90% sure. Um, and so I was going, I have no idea what's going on, but I should get into this. Fuck, it's gonna be my show of the summer.
Yeah, you texted me and you were like, I'm gonna get really into Fiddler this summer, I can feel it. I was like, yeah, you are.
Well, because it can't be something normal like Rachel Zegler and Evita or Stereophonic. It has to be some weird ass shit, like weird ass Oklahoma.
What was it last year?
Hadestown. The brain demon Hadestown.
No, you had a weird one you got into.
I got quite into
I'm going on
Hammer.
your mezzanine.
But I only saw that once because I can't afford to go see it again. If I
Yeah.
could afford,
This
I
is
feel
the
like
thing
I
of
would
like,
have. I don't think Next to Normal counts because
yeah, that's what I'd say.
I've been weirdly into Next to Normal for too long.
Maybe like Starlight.
I didn't get Starlight until October.
I reckon it has to be Hadestown.
It has to be Hadestown. I saw it 4 times last year and once this year. The very premise of our outing to go see it
Yeah.
is pretty batshit. The things I did or didn't do so I could enjoy Hadestown OBC, pretty crazy. Like, it has to be something where if you told me a year ago you would have seen this X amount of times, I would have gone, you're a fucking idiot. Why would I have done that?
Yeah.
And if you would have told me a year before that I'd have seen Hadestown 5 times in a year with the original Broadway cast, I would have literally been like, you're a fucking idiot. No, I don't.
But here we are.
Here we are!
Here we are!
Here we are! Cracks me up every time. Um, Then, what was it after the outbreak? Oh, okay. The Curious Case Benjamin Button. A show which I have seen, now has not. Had you heard
Mhm.
any of the music before this?
No,
Okay,
none of it.
because it all sounds like that.
Okay. I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was okay. Here was my thought process.
Mhm.
The two front runners for Best New Musical
Yeah.
were Benjamin Button and Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812.
Mhm.
And I can admit right now, before we even start on this, I am biased as hell.
Oh, yeah.
I love Great Comet to death. I think it is one of the best musicals ever written.
Easily.
But my thought was always, and I fear I've just realized a similarity between this and another show,
Yep.
where it gets hyped up to me so much. I expected to watch this performance and, oh yeah, this is winning. This is incredible. This is like an incredible piece of theatre. And it was
Yes.
good, but I
Hmm.
was like, it's kind of fine. Like, it might just be because it was an Olivier's performance.
So,
So first of all, they were tired. They didn't have their like regular set, their regular like staging kind of stuff. Fair enough. It wasn't like, again, in the nicest way possible, it wasn't their best performance, I'm sure.
yeah.
Purely because it would be impossible for it to be.
Yeah.
But I still just like none of it really jumped out to me as being groundbreaking.
So, I realized my issue with because I've seen Benjamin Button. And I got halfway through and I was like, you know what? I should go again when I'm not in it because I was in a piss poor mood
Yeah.
that day. I saw Benjamin Button famously. I'll admit that I went in a shit mood. And I got halfway through and I texted now and I went, I should go see this again. And then I watched the other half and I went, maybe I shouldn't
Yeah.
because I realized my issue with it and the
I
score.
think I need to go see it.
I will go see it with you because I need to bounce ideas off of someone as I'm seeing it, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Also, I do want to go to the pub.
Investigative journalism part two.
Yes,
Oh,
literally.
I want to go to the pub there so bad.
We need to go to the we need to go to
Unironically, them building a pub in the theatre has been their best marketing move.
on us.
I will go just for that pub.
Also, they have like F. Scott Fitzgerald puns lining the halls, which is a way to get me somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, so they started it, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I like this." And then I remember that the entire show is just kind of that.
Mm,
And then I remember being like, "Oh, that's why I kind of felt mad." But then I was also like, "I like folk music. Like, I really like folk music. I've discovered that this year. I fucking love folk music. I love
yeah.
Hadestown, which is deeply folk inspired. I've gotten really into Joan Baez. Like
Anyone else?
embarrassingly into Joan Baez. Bob Dylan.
Anyways, Benjamin Button.
So back to my thing with folk music.
I think I could like it. I
They,
think I could like it.
mm,
It just didn't sell itself to me on that stage.
my thing with folk music is if you're like the way I think I described it in the text to you is like it's quite Mumford and Sons.
Yeah, you sent it completely unprompted, and I was really confused what you meant for a moment.
Oh, I was talking about
What did you say?
I was like Mumford and Sons.
Okay.
And I like
Yeah, I was like, to be honest, it's growing on me by the end. And then you just go, the music is very much Mumford and Sons.
yeah,
Okay,
I feel like I know what I mean when I say that.
just a statement.
Yeah. I realized if you're gonna do a bit of folk music, one, the lyrics have to be amazing, and the lyrics in Benjamin Button, because they're kind of narrating the story at you, they aren't exceptional, and that they don't have to be exceptional because I also really love "Come From Away," which is very much in Benjamin Button's DNA.
Yeah, I think one of the bits that stood, it was kind of like the opening lines of the song, and then they kind of repeated it throughout. They just kept saying, like, Benjamin Button does this.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes,
okay. Which I feel like is hypocritical because I love other musicals that do that exact same thing.
hmm
Now I can't think of one, but I'm sure there are other ones
literally
that I
"Come
love
From
that do that.
Away."
Come From Away, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan of Come From Away. I think it's very good, but I've
Comment.
never been. Listen, how it does it differently.
You know what I know, trust me. I know the reason why the fight is narrated instead of actually happened and all of that kind of stuff. He takes his hand and
Yeah. I think the like narration in Comet is very different to the narration that I at least saw in Benjamin Button.
oh, 100%.
Where it just felt, that thing where it's like they do something, and then the chorus is like, look what they just did.
Yes. Yes,
It
100%.
felt like that, whereas like you're not actually adding anything. Like it would have been nicer if you had just played music throughout. That would have been cute.
The thing with like I was comparing it to Come From Away because I was like, why do I like it in Come From Away and why don't I like it here? It makes sense why they're all switching in and out of roles and all constantly up in each other's business. It's because they have to be. It's because they're in this small contained environment, you know? They're
Mm,
stranded there. That's the whole point.
yeah.
Whereas with Benjamin Button, they're just like, we're in a small town in Cornwall. Also,
And I feel like if I go to see it, I could get really into it and I could start doing like analysis of it.
hmm,
But I think just based off the like one thing I've seen, I'm like, I'd like to go see it. It has kind of sold me on wanting to go see it, purely just to see what the rest of the show is like.
hmm. It made me realize why I love Kraken's Lullaby so
Mm,
much is because it is a dark, like it is instrumentally a darker song. So it is, and it's also like it is a ballad. It is one of the only ballads in the it's I think it's the only ballad in the show. If I'm not
mm.
mistaken. But they still have like backing vocals, and it is guys, it's on streaming. It's called The Kraken's Lullaby, and it is a fucking banger. If the rest of the show was more like that, like Kraken's Lullaby is like the third song in the show, and when it started, I was literally, and when like it got halfway through, I was like about to fall out of my seat. I was like, oh, this is so good, and then it just went back to what it was doing. Also, I still can't fully understand them, and again, it's not the accent. I promise you,
Esme is well adjusted to the West Country accent.
I know a West Country accent.
Like we know a Cornish accent.
Yeah,
It's all chill. What else performed? Was it literally just Great Comet after this?
now it's time for Pookie.
It was beautiful. It was incredible.
I
I
cried.
loved it.
I
Ugh,
cried. I
bring
cheered.
it back. Come home.
Bring her home.
It's, Lager, beautiful, energetic, fun. One of my favorite songs.
You see,
It's
and
great
they
to watch on stage.
got the circle back. The O.
Oh my God, when I saw that circle, I gasped. And then to go into Sonia alone, oh my God, I was shocked.
And also,
And
did
to
you?
be fair, I really thought they were going to do no one else.
Yeah, we were like the teddy bear's out. It's no one else time. Um, did you catch that Anatole stared at Natasha in that moment where it was just the three of them on stage? I
Yeah.
loved that because it like
Oh,
if you vaguely knew the plot of War and Peace, which I'm willing to bet some pretentious fucks in that audience did,
oh yeah.
they were like, oh. I completely understand what point in the in the story we're at because like that's Anatole, that's Natasha.
Yeah. I guess again, I still think that when we said they should have done the prologue, I think that makes sense because there are so many characters that, and you know what? I'll give it to them. Benjamin Button did that very well with their song choice.
Yep.
I knew who Benjamin Button was. I knew who Alolan was.
But
They
it
were
gets
in the
confusing in the
second they
second
walked
act
on.
because they named their child Lowen, and I was like, "Who the fuck? I know a Lowen's the what? Sorry, who's who, guys?"
They did it very well because they were like, it was something, and it'd been 11 years since Benjamin Button last saw Alolan. And as they were saying these names, the characters were walking on. I was like, all right, I know who Benjamin Button is. I know who Alolan is. I
Yep,
know the backstory I need.
yep,
Let's get this song going.
yeah.
Which a very good thing for them to do.
Hmm.
And I fear Great Comet did miss that. I love Great Comet so much that I'm willing to let it slide.
But again, Great Comet's there for the party, so why wouldn't they do Balaga?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like compared to
Um,
like Benjamin Button, which needs to shift some tickets still.
yeah.
Comet's like we had a run, it was sold out. they're all going on to do other things, annoyingly. Don't get me wrong, I'm so excited for Here We Are, and I will go see Gatsby, but like,
Just do Comet one more time for me.
one more time, audience of me, now, and some of my friends who have talked about Comet 2 religiously, so that they can understand what I've been on about, you know? It's like one of that things where it's like, I'm so annoyed because I sound crazy talking about it and how good it was to my friends. And then they're like, oh, that sounds really good. Can we go see it? No, it closed.
Not close, months ago actually.
Months ago,
Um. Anyways,
um,
you can watch this performance of the Oliviers, but other than that,
oh, I
it's
might have
done.
sent a link to one of my friends and was like, Gally, watch this. It's gonna change your life. There
Yeah.
was a part of me that was like, are they just gonna do Sonia alone? Because before it started, I was like, are they just gonna do Sonia alone? Because logistically, your two leads in Comet World. Which would have been really funny if they just did a Pierre song.
I think they should have.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I don't even think he was there.
I would have feeling he might have been sat next to Chamiza Dawn for me.
But my thought is, if he was there, he would have just been in the performance,
Yeah.
wouldn't he? But
Yeah.
then again, I guess
Was Dave there?
they kept cutting to various like old white men, and I was like, is that Dave Malloy?
I kept thinking because I kept going back and forth with like Dave doesn't I think Dave he's like an Inez Mitchell type. Doesn't really like to leave his house.
I'm gonna look up a picture of Dave Malloy and see if he
I'm
looks
90%
familiar.
sure he was there
Yes, he was.
right at the end.
Yeah, they showed him at the end.
I think I went, Dave! And then I got sad because Dave was gonna have to lose an award.
I know.
You don't know, it's a bit of a bit between me and now to call Dave Malloy Dave.
Our bestie Dave.
My bestie Dave. Oh, never Nicole and Audra.
Nicole, Audra, Dave,
Dave, Andy,
Andy, Cameron.
Cameron. We'll talk about
Some
Cameron.
of our many dear friends. Should we do that bit now? Because that was also a performance, just to
Yeah,
get it out the way.
so, again, this was kind of weird writing from whoever wrote this. At the start, they were like, oh, it's been 40 years. This is the 40th anniversary of the creation of the Olivier Awards. Did a bit of like a Laurence Olivier was a famous actor. Great, because there were kids watching that who probably had no idea why the Olivier Awards were called the Olivier Awards.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, the only reason why I knew that they were called that when I was 16 was because I got really into Marilyn Monroe.
I think I just kind of knew because I was pretentious. And I probably like Googled it, so I like sounded smart when I was talking about it. I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm not watching the Tonys, I'm watching the Olivier Awards. Named after Laurence Olivier.
Famous actor. No, I just got
Actor.
really. I just watched Smash at the age of 14 and then got really into Marilyn Monroe lore.
Yeah.
So, which is somehow worse than pretending to be pretentious. Um. Oh, and then they're like, it's also been 40 years since Les Mis. It's like, could we expand on the 40 years since the renaming thing, guys? Like, I know Les Mis is a big deal, but how about we celebrate? Who knows what the Oliviers are doing ever?
Yeah.
So they announced like the day before that Les Mis were going to be performing, and I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense because they did "You'll Never Walk Alone" for the National.
Yeah.
Last year.
They tend to do a kind of big performance at the end of something important.
Yeah, so it's had an anniversary.
So I was like, fair enough that, makes sense that Les Mis is performing.
Yeah, Les Mis has been a
They
massive.
they introduced it in such a funny way
Yeah,
because they were like accepting on behalf of the company Cameron McIntosh. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna walk out and said, can't be here tonight.
I'll be here tonight. He's opening his old friends in New York at the moment, and I was sat there going, "Oh my god, why are we giving Cameron another Tony, another Olivier? He's actually got no, he's not got many Tonys actually compared to his Oliviers."
To be fair, he did a quite good speech,
I
but then the performance was beautiful.
the performance I was crying. I was
Oh yeah, I was near tears. Beautiful.
I love Les Mis. That's what it reminded me of. I just really love Les Mis.
Anyways, the speech was good. The performance was beautiful.
I
It was a
liked
nice ending to the show.
I liked, if you can hear people, there are teenagers in my home.
I think, to be fair, the other thing I noticed, especially in Cameron McIntosh's speech,
The AI thing.
yeah, the same way that last year they had this big thing about government funding for the arts.
Yeah, yeah.
This year their thing was very much we need to get rid of AI, which I can respect. I can really respect it.
You know what?
You know what? I stand with them.
I hate to say it, I stand with Andy and Cameron on a social issue. Not often that happens. What was I going to say? But I found a lot of they're like, oh, the world is such a dark place right now. It's like, can you name them?
It's like the world. There's so much suffering in the world, and it's such a joy to be here. It's like, okay, are you gonna do anything about it, or are we just like saying that?
Some of you were quite rich.
Yeah, but also I get it's the Olivier Awards.
Yeah.
Like,
I did kind of like how Cameron McIntosh was like, I'm gonna come out swinging. AI, get fucked.
Yeah. Like, he was very much explicit in what he was saying.
Yeah.
But anyways, awards?
Winners time.
We gotta speed through this.
Yeah, bro, I gotta go read the Hunger Games. So I won't send you my Wait For Me with Donald Finn's version. Hunger Games edits.
I saw one which was Lucy Gray and Agnes.
Oh, to what?
From one of the demo albums, Persephone's When I Was Young Like You. It has her,
Yeah. Snaps.
Anyways, awards.
Wait, can I just quickly say about Hunger Games / Hades Town edits? Because
I'll be getting a lot of them, and it's kind of pissing me off a little bit.
It's when the For You page gets so for you, but in a nice way. Yeah. Sometimes it's in a, I get why you think I would find that interesting. I really don't. Kind of way.
Yeah. We can think of an example for you.
Nightmares. Because obviously it's ballads, songbirds, and snakes. Songbird versus rattlesnake.
Oh my god, I've seen that one. I'm pretty sure. Songbird versus rattlesnake.
A little songbird. That's literally Lucy Gray. It's literally Lucy Gray. Anyway.
See how the vultures and vipers surround you?
It gets covered in snakes.
Actually, do you know what I should send you? I saw a fucking banging challenges edit.
Oh, I love a challenges edit. Yeah.
Hold on, I'll send it to you. Hold on, let me find it.
I love edits. Should I tell you what I saw? Mm-hmm.
What?
Surprised it didn't happen the first time it aired. I saw a banging Daisy and Billy from Daisy Jones and the Six edit. Should I tell you what song to?
What?
Love It, You Should Come Over.
Oh my god.
It's never over. It's never over between those two fuckers. See, I do like Jeff Buckley, contrary to popular belief. Now,
anywho. Where is this edit?
Anywho, let's get into the awards. Should we start with Best Musical?
Yeah, I think just go down this list.
Okay. Coco Benjamin Button won Best Musical.
We doubted ourselves, but ultimately we were right.
Last week, when we were like, oh yeah, Great Comet is winning, it's because I'm actually just cursed. That's what it is. That's what led us to that
broken the curse.
I've broken the curse. Well, I was thinking, where else is left, Where else is left? So, we've reached capacity. It makes sense that it's won. Should I tell you one thing that I'm maybe I do need to go reevaluate my choices and my tests, my taste in theatre, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the second year in a row where I've kind of been very much rooting for another show to win. Yeah. And not understanding.
I think the thing is last year it was from a place of malice.
No, last year it was from a place of that is one of my favourite musicals of all time, a musical which I have a very unhealthy connection to.
Well, for me it was from malice.
Oh, okay.
It was, I just don't want this one to win.
Well, me it was coming from a place
My apologies, Jack Malone.
Friend of the pod, Jack Malone. it came from a place of next to normal is means so much to me
Yeah.
and is so powerful.
I think that's how I felt this year. I was like, I fucking love Great Comet so much that I need it to win.
See, this year it came
And then
from
we went and fucked ourselves.
See, this year it came from a place of Great Comet is just so, in my opinion, so much better than Benjamin Button, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It
And we're
moved,
definitely biased. Obviously, we're fucking biased.
guys,
But
obviously. But I did go into
and
Benjamin Button.
I have no ill will towards Benjamin Button. I would love to go see it and I would love to love it.
I really enjoyed Claire Foster and John Danglish, and I think Philippa Hogg should have been a serious award contender. I again, Kraken's Lullaby, stream it. Um, but guys, we cheered when Benjamin Button won.
Yeah. It was a big moment for us.
We do now have 2 weeks in the summer we need to fill, but we can fill them with joy,
Joy and happiness.
happiness, and
And
light.
you know what? Maybe we could even fill them with Benjamin Button.
We could.
Why not?
What a beautiful time that would be.
You know, a rebirth.
I don't have to do Spider-Man a day before I go see Lana Del Rey at Wembley.
One day we will do Spider-Man.
Thank you, God. You're gonna have to do something else
No.
to make me do Spider-Man.
We're bringing the bet back for the Tonys. I think we should.
What would we bet
Because
on
here's
though?
the thing. Unfortunately, this bet is the only way that we're ever going to do Spider-Man and the only way that one of us will ever see Moulin Rouge, and we have to do Moulin Rouge at some point.
It's like we do also kind of have to do Spider-Man at some point, and
Yeah.
I'm at the point with Spider-Man where we just keep brushing up against it to the point where we almost have to start talking about it. Same with Moulin Rouge.
So
I
I
fear
just
we're
think
going to reach that
we
point.
need to keep bringing the bet back until
Yeah.
we have to do it. Because then it's not our fault.
I don't want to do it the week I see Lana.
Listen, we'll do it for the Tonys and then we'll just pick a different week.
Yeah.
We'll do it in like October or something. No, my birthday. No.
Okay. Because we do need a flop. That's the issue.
If it comes to it, if the bet happens, if the bet is won by October, we'll just do it for our flop.
Yeah.
But if not, listen, there are so many fucking flops. We'll find one.
I want to do Diana.
Yeah, I'm down for Diana.
Anyway.
I think, first choice Spider-Man, of course.
Never. That is your world.
If Tammy Faye wins Best Lighting,
It's winning Best Lighting.
realistically, it should be on the leading ladies one because that's the one.
Yeah. I'm putting my money on Nicole.
If Operation Mince Me wins Best New Musical,
It's not.
I will go and see Moulin Rouge.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah,
Best
I'd
set.
like to go see Benjamin Button.
Yeah. Yeah. Best set design went to Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof didn't do a clean sweep as much as it could have, which I kind of like.
Yeah. And also, to be fair, my memory of when Fiddler on the Roof was on, I saw a lot of people talking about the set.
Oh, yeah. And it incorporated like brutalist architecture.
Yeah. I still think if you're going to specifically include puppetry and projection, I think it should have gone Spirited Away. But I fully get why it went to Fiddler.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Congrats, Fiddler girl. Best lighting design. I feel like we were wrong here. It went to Oliver at the Gielgud.
Hey, classic.
It was Oliver's only award, and I mean, it makes sense that they did end up giving Oliver something. Theatre choreographer, surprise, surprise. MJ.
Who saw this one coming?
You.
It was MJ.
Oh, no, you have the one. Now, best costume design. I have some text to read out about this one.
Uh-oh.
My friend really hates Starlight costume design.
I quite like the Starlight costumes.
So she
Congratulations, Gabriella Slade, for winning.
Gabrielle Slade for winning. She had a good speech. Also, she also designed the six costumes, and they are iconic.
Yeah.
Her Martha's response was, "No, no, people have no taste." She sent me a screenshot of it as I told her, like, I was like, Starlight just won costumes, and then she sent me a screenshot of it herself. I was like, no, no, people have no taste. Outstanding. Oh yes, lighting design. Lighting design went to Fiddler again.
That says sound.
That's sound design. Sound design went to Fiddler. Makes
I think
sense.
we said it would.
It's hard to do an outside show.
I think if Starlight had been nominated for sound, I would have said it would go to Starlight.
Again, I don't get why Starlight wasn't.
I know. But again, outside theatre makes sense. It did it very well.
Yeah, makes so much sense. Outstanding musical contribution went to The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. This was the moment I was like, Benjamin Button's winning it. Oh, we are free.
Yeah. Dave, my
Dave,
heart broke for you, man.
once again, I'm being called on to avenge Great Comet and a major award show.
We need where do they do other theatre award shows?
Do Australia do them?
I don't think so.
We're gonna create our own. I thought we were just creating our own.
Yeah, we'll create our own.
Awards to people who desperately need them for their work.
Yeah.
Teresa Dorfman May. Dave.
Teresa Dorfman May. Dave.
Donalfin. That's our short.
Anais Mitchell.
Anais Mitchell she's already got a couple of awards, but she always needs more. Lynn, let's give him another award.
Yeah. He deserves it.
He's a nice guy.
Even Obzada and Amber Gray for being amazing.
Bro. They were so good.
They were so good. The list could go on. Unfortunately, we need to talk about the actual awards that happened.
The actual awards, not our own made-up awards. Dave, we will avenge you. This is big for us.
Oh my god.
Best actress in a supporting role in a musical. Before they announced it, I was literally just going, oh, it's Mimi Mina's. It's like, it's hers. As they were going through the people who were nominated, they got to the end because they said her name last. I was like, she's winning. 100%.
She's winning.
Legend.
At this point, I needed her to win.
When she won, the noise that I let out of just...
Oh, yeah. I think our texts were quite funny.
I was home alone. I think I texted you being like, I'm so glad I'm home alone because the voice.
What did we actually say?
Also, why can I not see the full photo of her dress?
I mean, her dress was gorgeous.
I believe the official term is a lehenga. I could be wrong. I saw someone on Twitter.
Yeah.
But that sounds right.
I actually know exactly who you saw say this, by the way.
They made a point.
They made a great point. You said, sat for these, come on, Great Comet, it's your one shot.
I knew it.
And then I said, yes, let's fucking go. The noise that just came out of my mouth. Thank God I'm home alone. And then we started talking about her dress.
So beautiful. I loved the colours. If you haven't seen a photo of it, because they're kind of hard to find for some fucking reason.
It was like this beautiful green. I think the reason is
blue.
I thought it was like a nice, like kind of light green.
Mm.
So I think the reason it's very hard to find photos is because on the ITV highlights,
yes,
they put her award in the other awards.
Her and the next one were put in the others, which was deeply offensive because they were two of my favourite wins of the night.
Yeah,
I mean,
which means that they didn't show their speech or anything.
Happy for everyone, but those two were ones where I was cheering.
Yeah. Her dress was gorgeous and she had a beautiful speech.
She's so talented, man.
I'm in love with her.
She's just so talented. What's she doing next? I need to find out. I need to go.
Anyways, the next one.
It's massive for me.
Massive.
They had the roles of everyone written down right now. Best actress in supporting role in a musical went to Leighton Williams for playing the iceberg bitch.
We were so happy. And also, can I just say, his opening line of his like acceptance speech
Maybe
was
that's why I got
hilarious.
Maybe it's relegated to the other awards.
His opening line was, "I just won an Olivier for playing an iceberg." That's incredible.
It's so good and so true. And also, like, I really liked the fact that Leighton Williams was like, I've worked really hard my whole life for this.
Yeah.
I
And I think
put
it's a really fun role to win for.
Yeah.
But,
He's so amazing. I loved his headdress or hat.
oh
How
my God, it was. I
headdress?
don't know what you would call it. I
Yeah,
feel like
hat?
headdress isn't right.
No, but I wouldn't call it a hat. It's almost also it also could be considered jewelry, almost.
Mm. Headband? It's not really a band.
Man,
Headpiece. Headpiece.
headpiece. That's the word. It's been a long day,
He
guys.
got there eventually. His headpiece was gorgeous.
Oh, it was astounding. Also, his makeup. I saw his makeup. I
Oh my
was like,
God.
dude, you got a great makeup artist.
I just want to say, like, one of the first things Esme said after Leighton won,
Mm.
Leighton, our friend as well, apparently, was crap, things are going our way again. We were terrified.
Yeah, we were shit at man. Um,
Moving
now
on, another big win.
big win for us and my father. When I saw him today, he went, "Yeah, Titanic won last night." I was like, "Yeah." He went, "Lauren didn't win." I was like, "What? Your good friend Lauren drew, Dad?"
Well, good news for him is that our good friend Leighton did win.
He was just like, "I just love Celine Dion." And I was like, "Yeah, I know.
We know.
We know you love Celine." Um, he thinks she's so strange. I was like, "Yeah, she is a very strange lady, but she's very interesting." I mean, I get why she was the linchpin chosen for this insanity.
Yeah.
But best entertainment or comedy play went to Titanic.
Big win.
Massive. They were very funny. Surprise, surprise, people who wrote Titanic are hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, Skipping ahead a bit here. Best revival of a musical went to Fiddler. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking no one.
Fucking no one. Um, Best actor in a musical went to John Daglish for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I wasn't shocked because again, that man does not leave the fucking stage, and it is a very physical performance.
I just want to say, performance that Benjamin Button did was pretty good. All the awards they won, a great selling point. John Daglish's speech,
Yeah, you literally texted me. It was like his speech has won me over.
he won me over. He was
Yeah.
so just nice and like
Yeah.
charming. I was
Yeah,
like, I need to go see this man in a show.
he is like he really
I
makes
need to see him on the stage.
he's so like Benjamin Button is such a difficult role. It's just it's very impressive what he's able to do with it. And I said that last week. I went, I could see it being Adam Downheiser or John Daglish because of what I just said.
Yeah.
Oh, the one performance we didn't get to talk about. Starlight.
I thought it was maybe a little bit of a weird choice. Personally.
I understand technically. I don't know if you would have seen this, but we got a comment on the TikTok talking about it.
I get why they couldn't do it.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
It made no sense. But
Yeah.
I feel like even something like pumping iron, you could do standing still and just skating around in a little circle.
We want our concert version of Starlight Express on a major award show.
Yes. That's my thing, is it's the same thing I said about like when I was talking about Why Am I So Single?
Yes.
The kind of whole point is to do a pretty like hyped song.
It was I was getting far too emotional at Starlight.
I know. Like I get that it's the like titular song.
Yeah.
And I also get that it's one of those things where if your whole understanding of Starlight is haha
Trains.
trains, But you're like, fuck, this is actually a very emotional musical. I
Someone in
get
the
that.
someone in the
From that
like
perspective, makes
yeah,
sense.
someone in the live stream comments when I want to see the trains. I haven't sent it to
Me.
Mark. It's
But like,
calculating.
I get why they did it. It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see Pumping Iron. I wanted to see the lesbian train, okay?
Well,
That was what I wanted.
we should enter the locomotive lottery again so we can go see the
Yeah.
trains. But someone on
Not the
TikTok.
trains, one train.
I want to go see all the trains.
I want to go see one.
Okay, well, that's your right.
You sent me a fucking ridiculous image. Not even a text
Did I?
about Starlight.
Oh, I was drinking wine last night, if you couldn't tell.
You said, where is it? It was so funny. It was like just after their performance.
Oh, G-Van Breach is a very talented young man.
Yes.
I stand behind that.
Where is it that like the actual way you phrased it?
Such a talented young man. I know he's 2 years younger than me, but I feel a maternal instinct.
So you go, they're doing Starlight Express, the song, and I say skates and all. 2 minutes later, you don't respond back. 2 minutes later, you say, he really is such a talented young man.
Yeah, I stand by that.
So you don't follow up on this in any way.
No.
It's the only thing you say about the performance.
Because I was watching it and going, what a talented young man.
And to my response was, he really is. Because he really is a talented young man.
So someone said this on TikTok, which I didn't know. Someone said this in our TikTok comments. Starlight absolutely broke me. Knowing Jivan lost his mum a few weeks prior to the performance, his I Won't Let You Down was so raw and emotional. Absolutely 10 out of 10. I sobbed. And I was like, well, that is why I felt like crying at Starlight Express, I guess.
He really is a talented young man.
He has a wind-up monkey.
You know what? He does have a wind-up monkey. Added to the group of people with wind-up monkeys.
Monkeys. Amber Grady and Obzada need to be added to the group of wind-up monkeys.
Well, of course they have wind-up monkeys.
Of course.
Call this episode the Wind-Up Monkey Awards.
That's what our awards are going to be called, the Wind-Up Monkey Awards.
Our award show is called the Wind-Up Monkey Awards.
We don't want to call the episode that. People might steal our idea.
We got to copyright it.
It actually already copyrighted it the second we said it.
Yeah.
It's done. Best actress in a musical was Imelda Staunton for Hello Dolly.
This was big for me.
Nah, she kept her award speech nice and short. I really appreciated that, Imelda. They did go on a bit, everyone.
Everyone else liked
the play people were worse than the musical people.
For once in their lives. I liked when they like opened Act 2. They were like, can we please keep our award speeches a little bit shorter?
Yeah.
And then every single person that went up to accept awards talked for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, Christ, congrats, guys. I just kind of don't care.
I also loved Jane Krakowski bowing.
Yeah.
To Imelda. I was like, my queen.
That was incredible. I just love Imelda Staunton.
Yeah.
She ended it and she was like, she thanked her mum. And then she was like, I wish you could like see that I'm about to open a play with your granddaughter. I was like,
oh, that's so sweet. Anyway.
Nice. Love Imelda Staunton.
Love you,
as I've often said.
Yeah. Nell's been very consistent in that. Anyway. I don't even know why I'm looking. I know what we're doing next week.
I know what we're doing next week.
We're getting in touch with our teenage self. By we, I mean me.
We?
I mean me.
It's we?
Me. Well, you're doing your dissertation on the Hunger Games and stuff, so that's how you're doing it. I'm doing... You chose it. Joking.
Come up with a topic and print a presentation on it. So I just picked the Hunger Games.
Amazingly done a bitch slap someone.
Unironically, it was probably from you talking about it so much. I was like, I know enough about this to do 8,000 words.
Get how into the Hunger Games I am, and then a new one comes out, and I'm like, ooh, tiny.
Send me the Maisley Donna casting call right now.
Francis Lawrence, whatever your name is, Connor. No, that's Lawrence Connor, my enemy.
Lionsgate Productions.
Lionsgate Productions. Our email
Send me that casting call.
is in the description. Hit us up.
I can do an American accent, I promise.
Promise.
I do it a lot to make fun of people.
I will go spend my summer in Germany. Yeah.
Happily.
Happily. Not Austria, but Germany, yeah.
Austria, absolutely. Anywhere. Anywhere you need me, I'll go.
Okay. I'll pay for my own airfare.
I'll pay my way if I need to.
Yeah. Anyway. Next week we're doing Mean Girls, which is a show we always think we've done, but we haven't.
We never have.
Until tomorrow, next week. Next week.
You'll get to hear all about New Year's Eve 2019.
Yeah, you will. Remember, it was the first time I was drinking. Such a fucking loser. Such a fucking loser. Nell's really stressed, so I'm letting her laugh at me.
Yeah.
No, I almost said something else. I stopped myself. Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye.